right, this is Ed Carbajal with Spectation Sports. Once again, speaking with Punisher Torrez Finney. I already have the headline for the piece I'm going to write on you. I'm going to call it Deja Vu with Punisher Torrez Finney because here we are again talking about the same thing. You headed to Contender Series again.
Yes, sir. I am. I'm excited. Thank you for having me being on the show and interviewing me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. And yeah, man, I'm excited for the chance to go right back on a contender series again. Obviously, yes, we did this the whole thing last year, and we was able to go in there getting a win, but we didn't get the ultimate goal. That was eventually get the contract. So this time, I'm really confident. I have no doubt that I will get the win and get the contract once again.
And thanks again, by the way, for making time. Thank you for making the time because I know we're I don't know when you probably have to head out to Vegas soon, so squeezing this in when you did, I really do appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So as somebody that's watching, like watching you guys, like guys like your teammate Trevor Peak, like watching your journey coming through Aries and stuff like that, and then seeing you get there, like when you obviously when you make it in, we're all rooting for you. And so for me to see you pick up the win with a finish, and then you got to kind of do it all over again. Take me through like from then to now, just like what you were feeling, what was going through your mind when. I mean, you pick up the win. I mean, I'm sure you're feeling good, and then they tell you, X, Y, and Z. I know there's a method to the UFC's madness, but just take me through your side of it.
Yeah, man. Like when I went to the back, it was actually really interesting. Go to the back. They actually had like the UFC next level. They was doing like a little thing on me, just in case if I won and got a contract.
Hmm.
And I'm asking all the camera guys, like, hey man, do you think that was good enough performance? And he's like, man, based off everybody on social media, most people think you're gonna get a contract. And I'm sitting here like, I think I did enough, and I'm thinking, and I got to finish. And it was a back and forth fight. Like he did have a good first round, and I came out the second round and had a much better second round and got the finish. So I'm like, okay, it was competitive. We're undefeated, never lost as amateur pro. So I just feel like what the stakes were at,
Hmm.
I felt like I was going to get it. And then to be told, the way he introduced, like opened up his intro before me, I had a feeling, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna get it. I was like,
Wow.
oh, it is what it is. But and I told people like during that time, I sat there about 5 minutes, and I was thinking, man, what? That's stupid. But after those 5 minutes, I never forget. I talked to my coach Larry. I said, you know what? I'm not mad because at least I won the fight.
Yeah.
I always talk about, it's not just me throughout my entire life of coaching, always talking about control what you can control.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what I did. I went out there and got the win. Now, could have controlled having a better performance? I could have. I didn't have the best of first round performance. But the second round, I looked a lot better. But I was able to control what I could control, and that's by winning. And I
Hmm.
always will say, because I'm a competitor and I'm an athlete, I grew up all my life. You win, you get congratulated on. You win, that's the good part. So I don't lose sleep over like the outside stuff, like how people look at you or like
Hmm.
the social media factors
Yeah.
and all that stuff. All I care about is winning. If I get to win, then everything else is settled for me because that's my main goal. I'm
Hmm.
fighting to win. And I know people's like, with my style and certain things, but I always ask people like, I'm 8-0 and I have 7 finishes. So obviously I'm not the lay and pray type guy. Like I try to get you out of there, even with my amateur career, all finished, well, one decision out of my amateur career. So like 4 out of those 5 wins were finishes as well. So it's like I look for the finish. So,
Hmm.
but even regardless of that, I'm always going to go out there and try to get the win. But back to your question, yes, I just, yeah, I wasn't too mad overall. I was a little disappointed at first, but after about a few minutes, like I said, it was like I won the fight. I was excited. I was like, man, I finally faced some adversity in an MMA fight. Saw
Hmm.
myself able to come back, and those are wins to me, just to see yourself go through some adversity when you really
Yeah.
haven't been through any in this sport. I've been through a lot in football, been through a lot in wrestling, but haven't done it in this sport. And to see myself overcome it once again, that was more the beautiful thing for me.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that I think a lot of as the sport gets bigger and the fandom gets more generalized. I think that's something that a lot of people miss. Like there's there's personal journeys that you guys, little inner battles that you go through that it might not come out like you said. You didn't get the contract, but you got the win, and you kept winning after that. Um, there's that viral knockout that you had after this. I mean, from my point of view, the way you walked away from that, I was like, he must be thinking they got to call me now. Was that was that kind of like where you were at mentally when that last fight, the way you finished that first round knockout?
So what a lot of people really don't know is like I actually had got offered to be on the Contender Series again for this season before 4 weeks before that fight. So there was talks between my management team, my coaches about do you want to still take this fight? You know, there's three risks. Obviously, one, you could lose. Two, you could have get injured, and three, you could have a bad performance even if you win split decision, taking it to the brinks. It might not. So that there's a risk by taking this fight. And
Mm,
personally, for me, I said, man, one, I had been training a whole lot up to this point. I had been training a lot because I had been training a little bit, getting ready for potential um, uh, Ultimate Fighter. I was selected to
mm.
be on the Ultimate Fighter. They flew me out there. They just told me that I was, not the person they was looking for this year's cast, even though the day before they're about to take my phone, they made some changes, but
Oh my God, they keep messing with you.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot that had been going on over the time span, so it actually
Yeah.
was pretty funny. But even with that, preparing for the Ultimate Fighter, then not being selected, and then I said I don't want my first fight back in the cage to be
Mm,
on the Contender Series again. That'd be nearly a year, and I didn't want that for me. I like to get reps. Like, again, I'm accustomed to football. We play every week. I'm
mm,
accustomed to wrestling. We're wrestling 2 or 3 times a week. So I want to be active more into my sport than just like not having these live reps. Like, yeah, we can spar, but we all know sparring ain't the same as going through the cut, going through the motion, going through
yeah.
the entire process. So I took that fight, and yeah, man, it was a blessing that I was able to, no pun intended, but turn into a hit home run. It's like it was a home run hit for me. And yeah, for a minute we there were talks of trying to get me in straight in from that because like, okay, that was a highlight reel knockout. It was big, but it felt like the route still was to go to Contender Series. And I feel like that definitely helped me out a lot and really helped me give me some breathing room. It's like, okay, I
Mhm.
went on a Contender Series. If you think one of my flaws is striking, I go back and showcase that. Now I'm
Yeah.
back there again. I just think there's a lot of things from me just continuing to stay persistent and not worry about more of the outside factors, just trusting in myself and believing in myself.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, they have you facing Cam Rawlson as far as right now is with the scheduled bout on the 20th. Um, so do you think? I mean, looking ahead, since you've already been through the machine already, um, how to what can we expect from you? I mean, because do you think the first time there might have been some UFC jitters, and now that you've kind of been through it and been in the mix with them already, from everything you've told me, does this? I don't want to say it makes the fight easier, but does it make you more prepared?
Yes, great way of saying it. More prepared, more confident. Yes, because previously, last year, as I told you in that interview, a lot of this stuff was going fast.
Mm,
I had only been a pro for a year and a half. I had only been fighting MMA for 2 years,
yeah.
so all of this stuff was fast to me. So when I saw, man, I'm about to be on a Contender Series, I'm like, what? This is wild. So it's like all of this stuff was just going really fast, and to be on that stage, granted, me and Yuri both had the same record, but he had been fighting in mixed martial arts way longer than I have. Now, yes, I know people can say the wrestling experience, but it's different when you're throwing punches to the face.
Hmm.
That's a little different. So he has been in it way longer than I have. Very similar to Cam. Cam been doing MMA since 2014. So like he's been in this game for a very long time as well. So it's like now going to this year's Contender Series, I'm more confident than ever. And I'm more confident stepping into that cage, like way more prepared. I feel really good right now. I am so much more confident anywhere the fight goes. I definitely have leveled up my game. I'm just really excited to really showcase. But I am more confident than I ever been, and I just feel like my skill set definitely is ready for the UFC. Last year, just me to myself personally, I was like, man, am I really ready? Am I ready to go through the gauntlet?
Mm-hmm.
But now this year, there's no question. You can throw me to anything, and I'm 100% confident I am ready. Because my style, the way I come out, the way I fight, I feel like my pressure, my tenacity, my grit, it's just gonna be hard for a lot of people to deal with, and that's why I'm really ready to see on August 20th if Cam can deal with it, and I'm ready to showcase
Yeah, and we're more than ready to see it since we've been waiting for since last year.
it.
So the one thing though that I mean, just when you talk about it just stands out to me and it just jumped in my mind right now. Like it was back then the division. I feel like that because you fight middleweight, you're going to be fighting middleweight,
Yes, sir.
and there's probably no better time than now that the division, especially in the UFC, I feel like needs a guy like you. And for folks that haven't seen your other fights, that they already know. I mean, you're six of eight of your pro wins are knockouts. So it's like I don't want to. It just seems like it's not stale, but it needs something, and somebody like you with a record like you have, I think it's the timing couldn't. It's the timing is probably better now for you to enter the division than it was last year. I don't know if that's how you feel.
Yes, sir. I mean, you're right. If you want to look at timing of, I tell people a lot of things go on longer in sports. Is always predicated on time. Um, we talk about, let's say, Tom Brady. And I do think he's the GOAT quarterback, but
Hmm.
just look at the timing of everything. Like Drew Bledsoe would get hurt that exact year with that exact team, and he takes that team to the Super Bowl. Now, granted, that's along with his skill sets, but he would get selected in the 6th round by that team. He literally, out of all the other 32 teams he could have easily got drafted by, he gets drafted by that team that puts him in that situation. And that's the most perfect situation for him. And I
Hmm.
just think, and that's where I believe definitely in my faith, with, Jesus Christ, like really depending on him. You
Hmm.
see things at first and you're like, man, this doesn't make sense. And we always go through that. We always go through, man, that doesn't make sense right now. And as crazy as it sounds, like I feel like I am so much in a much better position this year compared to last year,
Hmm.
heading towards the contender series. So I just that's why I just continue to trust the plan, trust the process, keep depending on Jesus, and just
Hmm.
understand that my time is gonna come, and when that time comes, it's gonna be ready, and we're gonna run through that door. Sometimes there's certain doors that get closed that you feel that should have been open, but sometimes God will just put you right there and he'll ask you, how bad do you want it? And
Yeah.
he'll give you a sledgehammer. He won't open the door. He'll give you a sledgehammer, and you make the decision on how bad you want it. And I
Yeah.
feel like August 20th, I'm going to show how bad I really want to be in the UFC.
Oh yeah, man. And I'm looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it back then. I'm looking forward to it more so now. And I know you've been busy and you've been doing a lot of other things. Before I let you go, if there's anything you want to plug or shout out any sponsors, please go ahead. The floor is yours. I know don't you and Trevor have a podcast or something out there that you put out in between then and now?
So it's me and my co-host. His name is Tyler.
Uh-huh.
Trevor does have his own little podcast, but
Okay.
me and my team, a friend from high school, Tyler, we've been doing it since the COVID times.
Oh,
But yes,
nice.
the TNT podcast, y'all definitely tune in. We have all types of sports. We talk about football, basketball, college football, um, really anything sports related. Obviously MMA. So yes, definitely tune in. We just two guys that love to chat it up about sports. So. Yes, and then also first I want to thank my Lord Savior Jesus Christ. Thank him for allowing me to be able to do this. Next, thank my family. I love them so much and all the support. You just love all the support from them to get behind me and just like they really just believing in my dream, and all my coaches and Agogi. Matt Harris, Larry Scott, Sterling Peace, love them so much. Love all of Agogi and all what they do for me, and sponsors between Robert White and Johnny Jones and PKP, man. They've helped me out so much. Pete Kinetic Performance, John and Gannon Hampton for helping me be in the best shape. Not only that, but training with me, being training partners, like not only doing my strength and conditioning, but also being a body to help me out.
Mhm.
So, yes, man, blessings to a lot of people that helped me. And I want to really repay that favor by my performance on August 20th.
Well, we're all looking forward to it again. Thank you again, Torres. Good luck to you. August 20th, Contender Series, ESPN Plus. They're doing some other show too. I saw that they put out this week. So everybody's getting excited for the new blood coming in, and I feel like it's definitely your time. So thank you again for making time to talk.
Thank you very much, Ed.
Take care.
Yes, sir.